So my emphasis is that we should not take any risk as much as possible. And I've learned this maybe from ACCA and subsequently. Always try as much as possible to keep every point on a separate paragraph. There is nothing, you never ever lose anything from giving paragraphs in writing your points. You never lose, you can only benefit from it. So if this is just a summary of my discussion. I would have said that reasons for changing from private to public. There'll be a number of reasons for Mlima Co to go public from its current private status. This will include prestige, or this will include, you can put an I now and say, in going public, there is a particular level of prestige that's associated with public companies. And this gives the shareholders and also employees of that company some level of public acceptance and regard that would not have been possible for many private companies. Full stop. Then paragraph, increased level of equity and debt financing. So the possibility of accessing funds from different markets, including banks, and being able to issue bonds in the public market, which will not be available to private companies too. And then there are potential tax advantages with being public because there's already high scrutiny being placed on the company. So the ability to given by many governments to public companies in being able to have, particularly because of loopholes available in many tax laws, there can be potential opportunities for public companies to exploit. And finally, that I've written that one with a lot of detail. So liquidity of public company shares will generally enable their shareholders to be able to sell their shares and realize their investment with ease that will not be available to private companies. So that will give me that particular part. And then the final part is, we're discussing assessment of possible reasons for share price to be issued at a discount. So the main reasons why they want to issue share price at a discount to the general public will be because of the amount of equity that is being given to the general public. So because the amount of equity is very small and the public that are buying these shares would have only 10%. Is that 10 or 20%? How many? I think 20%, right? So 20% doesn't give them any significant holdings, and so they might not be able to affect the decision making of the company going forward. And so that might discourage them from investing. However, issuing the shares at a discount might give them some level of incentive. It should also be known that because the shares are being given to a diverse group of individuals, it's very unlikely that they can form a block. In the case of voting on the affairs of the company, and even if they form this block, 20% will usually not be able to alter any decisions, particularly if the 70% that is still vested in the current shareholders vote en masse or in a particular block. Do you get the point? Did you get the point I made? Everybody's eye is open, but nobody is talking. You know, you can open your eye and be sleeping. If you come and share with us now, this thing you're eating small, come and share it with us. So this one is cheating.
Come and collect.
This one is
come and collect.
You want them to lock me up like Hillary Clinton?
Oh, I can't help you now.
Okay. Thank you for your consideration. Okay, now, very important to me is that conclusion, please don't waste time on conclusion. Like I said, 2 or 3 sentences, 1 or 2 paragraphs. The issue.
Write something under the discount now.
Okay.
See that this particular number 4 carries 12 marks. So obviously each point you're supposed to give like 4 points. Each of the 1, 2, 3. So we gave 4 points for the advice, gave 4 points for the reasons for changing from private to public. So this discount of share price, I think we should like give it a.
But you know,
see that what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it might not be possible for you to have 4 points in every single thing. But you can have 2 points and expand on them properly. That will give you 2 marks for each of them. Do you get the point I'm making?
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes that's how the question will be. So in this case now, so I can look at discount of share price with respect to the bondholders and the share and the general public. Because they've not told us specifically to the general public, have they? They didn't give us, they didn't say specifically to anybody. So I can look at it for the bondholders and for the shareholders, for the bondholders and for the general public. Do you understand? And then I can discuss for both of them. And that is quite easy to do.
Did you sleep this afternoon? Hmm? Huh?
Hello, madam. No, we're still on. I've added you. I've given you a.
How is it going there? Yes. Right.
Okay. Now thinking about it, it doesn't make any sense. You're not issuing, the bondholders already have bonds. If you issue to them at a discount, then you're even giving them smaller. So the only thing that the company can do is to increase the amount of equity stake that it is giving the bondholders to compensate them for investing or for changing from going from their bonds that is guaranteed cash to holding equity in the company. Do you get the point I'm making?
That means they should increase from this 20% to a higher.
No, from 10% for the bondholders to a higher, and we can even do the calculation on that. So supposing, for example, they are going, they are not going to, let's say they are not executing the Barry project. Then if they are not executing the Barry project, this discount will mean that they would have to increase the share allocation to them from 10% to whatever this figure divided by this figure is. So the current value of the bond is this, right? So if we divide this by this, we should be able to get what the percentage should be that should be given to them. Oh, okay. It's not one figure. So 56.86 divided by what? So that's like 12.5% instead of the current 10% that they want to give them, will be the kind of thing that you'll be giving to compensate them for.
Hey, what did you do, Brian?
No, as in the amount of the bond divided by the value per share will give you what the percentage that you should be giving them is now. Do you get what I'm saying?
I didn't get what you said.
I said that this is the value of their bonds, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so if 4.56 is equal to 1 share, so how many shares would you give them for them to be comfortable? So we can do, if we do cross multiplication now, 4.55 is equal to 1 share, then 56.86 is equal to X shares, and we cross multiply. Our answer will now be 56.86 divided by 4.546. That will give us 12.5 million shares. So, and since it's 100 million, and that's 12.5 million, 12.5% of the company. That will now be what will be more of a compensation to the bondholders than the 10%.
Instead of the 10%.
Instead of the 10% that is being offered them at present. So this would have given you, it's really 3 sentences, so it's a lot of discussion, and it's 3 proper sentences. So for the company shares to be fully subscribed, a fair price should be given to the public, or a fair price. So it should be issued at a fair price. So that's the final thing.